So we are back again after phase 1 finishing to go through our phase 2 predictions. But to bring you up on date, if you're going to win that battle pass, we will take a quick look over about how the play-ins went. So as you can see here, we did manage to get 3 correct out of the 4 qualified teams. Unfortunately, only CAG was in the right position, which means we get 2 points for CAG qualifying in the lower bracket. And then we also get a point for SSG and Bleed qualifying. So we managed to get a total of 4 out of 8 points. It did go down to sort of a straight shootout. I thought G2 would get the better of Liquid. It came down to a map 3, 7-7, 1v1 with Liquid coming out on top, which got them through to phase 2.
Taken down, 3 versus 3, as somehow Liquid fight back, 2 versus 2, and a final twist in a game full of twists finds us in a 1 versus 1. It's Alamo versus Lagonis. It is a shield fronting up to the Bandit. Alamo, we've already seen him in this position, and he won it out last time. This time, he takes the damage, and Lagonis will hit the nitro that sees Liquid win what has been an unbelievably hard-fought game.
So a little bit unfortunate there, but we are still on track to win that battle pass, as we'll take a quick look at the playoffs now. So as you can see here, we have the bracket for the play-ins. What happens here is you have your first round of fixtures. Half of the teams will win, half of the teams will lose. The teams that win progress 1-0. The teams that lose go down to 0-1. Basically, every single game in the Swiss stage, this is known as the Swiss stage or phase 2, is a best of 1, unless you lose 2 games. After that stage, because it's an elimination game, you will be playing a best of 3. The aim is to win 3 games before you lose 3. So the aim of the game here is to pick 2 teams that are going to win 3 matches and lose none. Then we pick 3 teams that are going to win 3 matches and lose 1. And then 3 teams that are going to win 3 matches and only lose 2. So now we get to this stage where we pick our said teams. The teams that I believe are probably the strongest in this tournament at this current moment in time are obviously going to be FaZe. My logic behind FaZe is that they qualified through the BR, the Brazil League, not losing a single game. That's right, they didn't lose a single game. They also made it to the final of SI as well, and were also close to clutching victory despite that fantastic W7M comeback. My second team that I want to select as well is not actually that old W7M roster, but Team BDS, who do go up against Furia, who, if you don't know, are that old W7M roster. But Furia looked a little bit shaky, finishing in 3rd place in the league. And BDS, well, they only lost 1 game in EUL, and they are being touted to be this new superpower team in all of Rainbow Six Siege. So it's an absolute barn burner of the first game for them to go up against Furia. But I think with FaZe and BDS, who are arguably a lot of analysts, a lot of pros, and a lot of the community's fans to be the 2 best teams in the world at the moment, despite Furia being the defending champs of the majors, I think if you put these 2 in first place, it's giving you your best bet of locking in at least one who is definitely going to go 3-0. So our next prediction is going to be no other than Furia, the XW7M lineup. Let's not forget that they won the major in Copenhagen, won the major in Atlanta, and also won SI. The notorious thing about Furia is that they're always a little bit slow to get cracking in phase 2 of majors. You see them, and in SI they lost to Wolves 2-1, so that's why I think BDS might pick Furia, and Furia will drop down into going 3-1. So we'll select Furia in there now. My next shout is going to be a little bit of a rogue one. Obviously, they've had disappointing performances at the previous majors going out in phase 2. But I truly feel after watching that M80 lineup, they finally managed to get things clicking. Let's not forget that Spoit, the gunner himself, was a top-rated player in all of NA as well. Kino's made a massive revival. And then you've also got Citizen, Cameraman, and also, oh my goodness, Noodle, the British boy. Yes, it's an NA team with 0 NA players, probably why I'm putting them up a little bit higher due to my EU bias. And our final team making it through 3-1, I should say, I'm going to go with ITB. The The reason I'm going with ITB is because I think the coaching staff there in Kangaroo Kenny is absolutely fantastic. They've got some young, exciting players who, having interviewed them myself, they don't seem to hold any fear going into this. And let's not forget that they came second in EUL, just behind BDS, and they also managed to take a map of what everyone is saying is the new super team of Rainbow Six Siege. So now we come to the tricky bit, which is going to be predicting the final 3 teams to make it to the main stage. My first pick is indeed going to be SSG. I have to say, I did have Bleed to beat them in that upper bracket game to qualify through in the upper bracket, but SSG really impressed me. They showed that they could come back from a map down, winning map 2 and 3 up against Bleed with 14 straight rounds. They won 7-0 and 7-0, and they have a history of making it to the main stage as well, so that's why I'm putting SSG in as this pick. My next pick is going to be probably due to my EU bias once more, but Team Secret. I've seen Team Secret play in a lot of best of ones, and they seem to bring some of the most dynamic attacking Siege I've seen, which in a best of 1 games could really prove dividends, especially in this format that we're playing in. So Team Secret are going to be my second team to sneak through to that main stage, and I also think it's got that pull with being a EU team playing in an EU city in Manchester just to drive them on to get it over the line. Now this final one, I feel like you could put in as many as you wanted. Dark Zero obviously in with a good shout. Beast Coast obviously finished top of NAL, so they could go in there. Bleed gets everyone hugely excited as well. E1, who knows what we're going to see from them. I think Team Liquid as well could be a gamble, but I'm going to go for a massive gamble here. And it may be due to me moving to Australia shortly, but I'm going to go for the Sick Cunts of Bliss making it through to the main stage in Manchester. And that is me locking in my predictions with FaZe, BDS, Furia, M80 into the Breach, Space Station Gaming, Team Secret and Bliss. I think if you want to switch it out and you're not a big fan of the Aussies like me, maybe stick yourself in there, a Dark Zero, Team Liquid, something along that sort of lines if you want to guarantee those points for safety. But I'm going to lock them in now. So that is going to be my predictions of the teams making it through to the main stage of the Manchester Major. There is a fantastic little website in which you can put in your predictions and see who would make it through to the main stage as well if you want to use that to make your own predictions, and I will show you that now. So as mentioned, here is this wonderful website. It's Blast R6 Major Manchester 2024 simulator. What you do is you switch around your teams here and it will show you who will progress through, and eventually you can figure it all out yourself. Note to remember is that when it goes through to the next phase or the next fixture, it is entirely randomized, so it might not be what happens when it gets to the actual Manchester Major where we see who plays who. So keep that in mind, but if you want to use this, it's a fantastic reference tool to try and get a kind of idea of who will be progressing through to the main stage with me cheering them on or cheering against them. So just to confirm, my teams that I've got for 3-0 are FaZe and BDS. Then for 3-1, we've got Furia, M80 into the Breach. 3-2, we have Space Station Gaming, Team Secret and Team Bliss. So we're praying that we get that free battle pass. Follow me or use the link in the description to try and figure out how your teams might line up and get through to the main stage. Best of luck, and here's to getting that fantastic free battle pass. See you in the next prediction, guys. Bye bye.